Welcome to RealTime Affairs, where we dive deep into the stories shaping our world. Tonight, we're unraveling the drama, the heartbreak, and the big reveal from Love Island USA Season 7. Who won the coveted prize? Did love truly conquer all? Stay tuned, because this finale recap has all the twists you won't want to miss.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is, well, it's your place to really get the story behind the headlines, designed to bring you fascinating insights and surprising facts, all wrapped up in a calm, storytelling experience. Think of it as your perfect companion for unwinding.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into the sunny, sometimes kind of chaotic world of Love Island USA Season 7.
Specifically, we're going to focus on that dramatic finale.
That's right. We're going to, peel back the layers on everything that went down as the season wrapped up. Our mission for you tonight, just a complete, soothing summary. Who won, how the final moments played out, the key couple.
And what everyone was saying about it, right? The public reaction.
Exactly. Giving you the full picture. Perfect for just, winding down.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Love Island USA Season 7, it all came to a head pretty dramatically on Sunday, July 13th, live from Fiji.
Yeah, and it followed a really tumultuous summer, you could say. Lots of breakups, people leaving unexpectedly. It was a lot.
Definitely. And it all led to this grand finale with 4 couples left, all hoping for that $100,000 prize.
Yeah.
But maybe before we get to the winners, what made this season feel, different?
Well, what's kind of fascinating is how unpredictable it felt. Unlike some other seasons, very few of the original Islanders, the OGs who walked in on day one, they mostly didn't make it to the final.
Really? That's unusual.
Yeah, the final 4 couples were overwhelmingly bombshells, the people who come in later to shake things up. So the whole story wasn't just about watching relationships grow from the start. It was more about these dynamic shifts, these unexpected connections forming under all that pressure.
That's a good point. It does show how the game itself, or maybe what viewers respond to, changes. Okay, so the moment everyone waits for, who actually won Season 7?
The big news, Amaya Espinal, she's 25, and Bryan Arenales, 28, were crowned the winners. They got the most votes from the public. Yeah, which is pretty amazing, especially when you think about how relatively late their connection formed, It kind of suggests viewers really valued seeing that genuine spark, maybe more than just how long a couple have been together.
That is remarkable. So how did the actual winning moment go down? Because it's never just the announcement, is it? There's always that tense bit with the money.
Right, the classic Love Island envelope twist. So Ariana Maddox announced they'd won, and then Bryan, in a move that really showed, I think, his trust in Amaya, he let her pick the first envelope.
Okay.
And you know how it works. One has $0, the other has the full $100,000. Well, Amaya picked the one with 0.
No way.
Yeah. So Bryan opens his, reveals the $100,000, and just instantly, no hesitation, said he'd split it evenly with her.
No, that's actually really sweet. A proper team move right there at the end.
Totally. It felt like it cemented their partnership beyond just, the game itself.
So what were they like? Their reactions must have been huge.
Oh, they were incredibly emotional, really heartfelt. Amaya, after doing what Ariana called her zoomies, this burst of pure, excited energy, she just talked about feeling seen and validated by Bryan, said she felt like she was flying in the sky, and that the whole thing was a ride she'd do all over again if it led me to him.
Wow.
And she had this really powerful message, didn't she, for anyone feeling misunderstood, saying nobody should ever be tamed, and that real love appreciates all of your craziness.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And she called Bryan her Prince Charming, living in a fairy tale. Even that Dominican Cinderella line was pretty iconic.
Totally. And Bryan, who, remember, only came in during Casa Amor.
Right, the big relationship test.
Exactly. He basically mirrored everything she said. He shared that meeting. Amaya just turned my experience around ridiculously, and he'd do it 100 times over just to find her.
That's intense.
Yeah, and he called her my piece to this madness. And then that line, we are two misunderstood people who understand each other. Just...
Wow,
Yeah.
That really sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. And their connection, even though it formed later, felt so strong. Part of it seemed to be that shared Latino culture they bonded over. Amaya's Dominican, Bryan's Puerto Rican and Guatemalan. It kind of grounded them, maybe.
Yeah, amidst all the chaos of the villa.
Okay.
So the fairy tale couple got their win. But let's talk about the other finalists. Their journeys were pretty interesting, too.
For sure. Let's start with the runners-up. Nick Van Steenberg, 24, and Alandrea Carthen, 27. They got second place, which honestly was quite something given how they started.
Oh, so?
Well, their whole thing was being friends first. They were both OGs, but initially they were trying things out with other people. Alandrea was with Taylor for a bit. Nick had a strong connection with Sierra.
Okay.
And then, get this, they were actually dumped from Casa Amor, like voted off the show.
Seriously? So how did they end up in second?
Twist of fate. And, probably some savvy public voting. They got brought back and ended up recoupling, but just as friends at first. Then, slowly, they realized, as Nick put it, all paths lead to each other.
That's quite a story arc.
It really is. And Nick was super gracious in his speech, too, calling Alandrea the kindest, most genuine person, and even saying Amaya deserved the win, that he was happy for her genuine connection.
Wow, from dump to second place. That does make you think about what viewers connect with, doesn't it? Maybe not just pure romance, but seeing that friendship evolve too.
Definitely. Okay, so moving on to third place. Huda Mustafa, 24, and Chris Seeley, 27. They placed third, but their finale had a huge, unprecedented moment. This is where things got really interesting.
Who tell?
Okay, so Huda and Chris, they actually made history. They mutually decided to break up before the winner was even announced.
Wait, what? In the middle of the finale?
Yep, a total first for any Love Island finale ever. It was pretty dramatic. But even after splitting, they gave these really quite poignant final speeches.
Really? After breaking up?
Yeah. Huda talked about learning lessons for the real world that were more valuable than anything. And Chris praised Huda's bravery as a mom, telling her, "Your daughter is one lucky girl to have you as a mom."
Huh? That's surprisingly mature, given the timing. But their relationship throughout the season was, well, it's complicated, right? Lots of ups and downs.
Oh, absolutely. It started in Casa Amor, and Chris's kind of mature and even-keeled vibes seemed to calm Huda down initially, but they definitely had ongoing issues.
Like what?
Well, things like unresolved issues with communication, and Huda admitting she was pretty PDA shy, which obviously caused tension in that environment.
Right. Not ideal for Love Island.
Not really. And their final date, it kind of brought everything to a head. Chris said Huda sometimes made him feel like a little kid, and Huda felt rejected because she wanted more physical affection.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Huda ended it right there on the date. They left separately. Huda was in tears, and Chris basically said he'd seen enough red flags and pretty bluntly said he could give a fleck anymore.
Wow. That's raw for a finale. Definitely not the fairy tale ending.
Not at all. It was a stark reminder that, not all these connections work out, especially when real world stuff bubbles up.
Okay, and rounding out the final four, we had Iris Kendall, 25, and Pepe Garcia Gonzalez, 27, in fourth place. Their story also had a bit of a twist, didn't it? Both bombshells finding each other after some heartbreak.
Exactly. Both of them had lost connections they thought were really strong. Iris with Jeremiah and TJ, Pepe with Hannah and Grayson.
So they kind of found comfort in each other.
Pretty much. They were already best friends, apparently, and after the heartbreak, that friendship quickly led to something more. Their relationship was actually quite blissful and drama-free compared to some others.
Sometimes you need that stability, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they offered viewers a little bit of calm amidst all the other storms, Just genuine companionship.
So that's the final four. But the season was packed with other moments, controversies, fan reactions. Let's dig into some of that buzz.
Okay, yeah. One thing that got people talking a lot was Huda's pillow fight injury. Remember that?
Vaguely. What happened again?
Well, during what seemed like a totally playful pillow fight, Chris accidentally nailed her right in the nose. So Huda showed up later wearing a bandage.
Ouch.
Yeah, and Reddit just went wild. People were totally divided. Some thought Huda was being way over the top, like, "News tape, is she dead?" kind of comments. But then others were really critical of Chris, saying he didn't check up on her properly afterwards. And then the plot thickened when it came out. Huda had actually had rhinoplasty just like 2 months before.
Okay, that changes things a bit.
Yeah.
Adds context.
Right. Suddenly her reaction, the bandage, it all seemed potentially more serious. So yeah, lots of debate around that one.
No kidding. And weren't there some eliminations right before the final that caused a stir too?
Yep. Ace Green and Chelly were the last couple voted off, just before the finale night. They called it bittersweet, happy to leave together, happy about the friends they made.
Standard exit stuff.
Mostly, but the interesting bit was the reveal that Ace and Chelly had actually met once, briefly, outside a club in New York before the show.
Get out. Really?
Yeah. So that added this whole layer of fate or destiny for some fans, Sparked those conversations about whether it was real connection or just reality TV coincidence.
And beyond the voting, there were some more serious departures this season too, weren't there? Controversies.
That's right. The season definitely faced some heat because two contestants, Sierra Ortega and Yulisa Escobar, left the villa. It turned out some old social media posts resurfaced containing racial slurs.
Oh, wow. Not good.
No. Sierra, whose exit really impacted Nick's journey for a while, she issued an apology on TikTok later. It just really highlighted that intense scrutiny these islanders are under and how past actions can absolutely come back.
Yeah, definitely a downside of reality fame.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, there were also those fun viral moments, especially from Amaya, right? She had some great lines.
Oh, totally. Amaya was gold, that moment in the makeup room. I never said I was perfect, but at least I'm pretty, and at least I'm a little funny, and at least I'm my own best friend.
Yes. That one went everywhere.
Yeah.
So relatable.
Totally resonated. And then our whole Dominican Cinderella thing, plus Bryan defending her craziness, is just, part of her culture and who she is. Viewers loved that, saw it as real acceptance. Those moments definitely helped make her a fan favorite.
Clearly. So all these highs and lows, the drama, the love.
Yeah.
What was the overall vibe online? Especially on places like Reddit where fans really get into it.
Right, the Reddit buzz. It was, as always, intense and super divided. Take Huda, for example. Lots of sympathy from some corners, people arguing she grew the most or was just misunderstood.
Okay, I can see that perspective.
But then you had others criticizing what they saw as childish behavior or maybe anxious attachment, even suggesting she needs help. And that whole debate about Chris after the breakup, was he classless for how he acted? Or was it justified because Huda was maybe disrespectful on the date? It got heated.
Sounds like it. It really shows how differently people can interpret the exact same interactions on screen. What about Nick and Alandrea, the runners-up? Were people buying the friends to lovers thing?
Again, totally mixed. Some viewers were just not convinced, calling it fake or platonic. Someone even joked it sounded like a pre-recorded script from a couples counselor.
Ouch!
Yeah, but then just as many people were totally shipping them, wanting them together from the start. They loved that slow burn, saw it as more authentic. So, yeah, polar opposites.
It always comes back to that debate, too, doesn't it? Genuine connection versus playing the game. Did that come up much?
Oh, yeah, constantly. Lots of viewers commenting on who they thought was playing the game strategically versus who was genuinely looking for love. It's like the eternal Love Island question.
Did any Islanders admit to it?
Well, some, like Ace, did kind of acknowledge the strategic side of things, like voting tactically. Which, adds another layer. It's not just about love, there is a game element.
True. Okay, so looking ahead now, beyond the villa, what's next? A reunion show is always a big deal.
Definitely. The Season 7 reunion is going to be co-hosted by Ariana Madix again, and the king of reunions himself, Andy Cohen.
Oh, Andy Cohen, too. That's big.
Yeah. Filming in New York City, and it's set to stream on Peacock on August 25th. So mark your calendars for that one if you want the postability.
Always essential viewing. And it's nice to see how past winners are doing. Amaya and Bryan take over from Serena and Cordell from season 6. And they're still together, right?
They are, still going strong, which is always lovely to hear. And Cordell had some pretty solid advice for the new Islanders, too. Basically just be comfortable with yourself. Be the best you can be.
Simple but true, especially in that environment.
Totally. And the show itself, Season 7, it was huge for Peacock. It became their most watched entertainment series on mobile devices.
Wow.
Yeah, they called it a true cultural phenomenon. 6 weeks, 30 Islanders, 2 villas, countless makeout sessions.
Yeah.
It definitely captured people's attention.
It really did. As we wrap this up, it's kind of fascinating how these shows, even with all the produced drama and everything, still tap into something so universal that search for connection, for understanding.
Yep.
It's like a super intense, sped-up version of dating. But it reminds you that love, real love, is often messy and unpredictable, isn't it? A wild ride.
Absolutely. And it kind of leaves you wondering, what does winning on a show like this actually mean in the end? Is it the cash? Is it finding someone genuinely compatible, or maybe it's just figuring yourself out along the way?
That's a good question to mull over. Something for you to think about as you drift off, perhaps.
Definitely something to ponder.
If you enjoyed this soft dive into Love Island, don't forget to follow RealTime Affairs on your favorite podcast app. We bring you real-time drama, reality TV breakdowns, and cultural deep dives, even while you unwind or drift off to sleep.